Is death truly the end? Or is it simply a doorway to the unknown? This question, asked by humanity for millennia, resonates deeply within all cultures and religions. The nature of death and what follows has been a subject of fascination and fear, hope and uncertainty. Across the ages, civilizations have conjured up ideas of the afterlife, from eternal rest to journeys through realms of the dead. But in ancient Egypt, death was not seen as a finality, it was a transition, a journey toward a greater understanding and perhaps rebirth. In Egypt, death wasn't an end, but a step in the never-ending cycle of existence. As we delve into the mysteries of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, we must first ask ourselves, what did the Egyptians believe about death? What was their view on what happens when the body stops breathing? Did they fear death, or did they embrace it as an inevitable part of life's cycle? In ancient Egypt, death was just another stage, a continuation of life's great journey. This transition led the soul into the underworld, where it would face trials that would determine whether it would join the gods or face eternal oblivion. The ancient Egyptians saw death as a journey of transformation, not an end to existence. The Book of the Dead is a guidebook, not just for the deceased, but for the living as well. Imagine for a moment you are an ancient Egyptian, living in a world filled with mystery and grandeur, where gods walk among mortals, and every moment in life and death is connected by invisible threads of spiritual truth. The Book of the Dead isn't just a manual of rituals. It's a blueprint for navigating the unknown, for embarking on a journey that promises not just survival, but enlightenment. It offers insight not only into the afterlife, but into the way of life itself. In ancient Egypt, death was not seen as the termination of existence. To the Egyptians, death was simply a transition, a shift into another state of being. But in this transition, the soul had to undergo trials and tribulations, each one carefully crafted to test the purity and righteousness of the deceased. Central to this belief was the concept of Ma'at, the cosmic force of truth, balance, and justice, which governed the universe. Ma'at was the measure by which everything in life and death was judged. The soul's journey was not simply about survival, but about restoring balance to the universe and reuniting with the divine. The soul, according to the Egyptians, was made up of multiple components, each serving a unique role in the afterlife. The Kai was the vital life force, a spiritual double that remained with the body after death. The Ba, on the other hand, represented the individual's personality, the unique qualities that made a person who they were. After death, the Kai stayed with the body, while the Ba embarked on a perilous journey through the underworld, guided by the spells and prayers of the Book of the Dead. The challenge was to navigate the dangers and obstacles of the afterlife, where the soul was tested by gods, spirits, and mythical creatures. But the ultimate trial was not against demons or monsters, it was the weighing of the heart. The heart, which represented the deeds and actions of the deceased during their life, would be placed on a set of scales, weighed against the feather of Ma'at. If the heart was light, it signified that the deceased had lived a life in accordance with Ma'at, upholding truth and balance. But if the heart was heavy, weighed down with sin and wrongdoing, the soul would face punishment, its eternal peace shattered. This process of weighing the heart was more than just a judgment, it was a spiritual purification. The heart had to be lighter than the feather, for only then could the soul pass into the afterlife and be granted eternal life among the gods. If the heart failed the test, it would be devoured by Ammit, the demoness who consumed the souls of the unworthy. This, however, was not a fate to be feared, but a part of the cycle, death giving way to rebirth, judgment clearing the soul of its imperfections. The Book of the Dead, or the Egyptian Book of the Coming Forth by Day, was not a singular book in the traditional sense. Rather, it was a compilation of spells, rituals, prayers, and incantations designed to guide the soul through the trials of the afterlife. But its origins were not in a single work. It was a continuous evolution of sacred texts that spanned centuries, beginning with the pyramid texts. These early texts, written during the Old Kingdom, were inscribed in the tombs of pharaohs to help them ascend to the heavens after death. The pyramid texts were the earliest known form of the Book of the Dead. They were meant for the pharaohs, providing them with spells and instructions that would allow them to transcend death and join the gods in the afterlife. As time passed, however, these texts began to evolve. The coffin texts emerged during the Middle Kingdom, expanding the reach of these sacred writings beyond the pharaohs to include the nobility and common people. It was during this period that the concept of the Book of the Dead truly began to take shape. Unlike the pyramid and coffin texts, which were primarily reserved for the elite, the Book of the Dead was democratized. It was no longer limited to royalty. Anyone could use it to guide their soul through the afterlife. These texts were written on papyrus scrolls and placed in tombs alongside the deceased, ensuring that the person would have the guidance and protection they needed in the afterlife. The Book of the Dead wasn't just a religious text. It was a comprehensive guide to life and death. It offered advice on everything from burial rituals to the proper prayers and spells needed to ward off evil spirits. It was a manual for navigating the treacherous underworld, but also a reflection of the Egyptian worldview. A worldview that saw death not as an end, but as a continuation of a never-ending cycle of transformation. After death, the soul's journey was believed to take it through the Egyptian underworld, known as Duat. This was no ordinary realm. It was a place of mystery, danger, and potential enlightenment. Duat was a land of both light and darkness, a liminal space where the soul would face its greatest challenges. In this realm, the deceased would encounter gods, spirits, and creatures that could either help or hinder their progress. The journey through Duat wasn't merely a linear path. It was a labyrinthine series of trials. Each trial was designed to test the soul's worthiness and strength. Some trials involved facing terrifying creatures, while others tested the soul's knowledge of divine truths. Yet the most significant trial was the weighing of the heart, which took place before the great god Osiris. Upon reaching the Hall of Judgment, the soul would place its heart on a scale, where it would be weighed against the feather of Ma'at. If the heart was found to be light, the soul would be granted access to the eternal realm of the gods. But if the heart was found to be heavy with sin, the soul would be devoured by Ammit, a terrifying creature with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. Once the soul passed the weighing of the heart, it could continue its journey toward eternal life. But even after passing this test, the soul would encounter other dangers, including rivers of fire, terrifying monsters, and dark forces that threatened to pull it off course. But through the spells and guidance offered in the Book of the Dead, the soul could overcome these challenges and ultimately reach the realm of the gods. At the end of the journey, the soul would be reborn into the divine light of Ra, the sun god. It would be reunited with its Kai, and together, they would live forever in the presence of the gods. This eternal life was not an idle existence, but one of constant spiritual growth. as the soul continued to evolve in harmony with Maat. Throughout the Book of the Dead, a wealth of symbols and spells guide the soul on its journey. Each spell, each symbol, is a key that unlocks the mysteries of the afterlife, providing the soul with the tools it needs to face the challenges ahead. One of the most powerful symbols in the Book of the Dead is the Ankh, the symbol of life and immortality. The Ankh represents the eternal nature of existence, and it was believed to offer protection and strength to the soul as it journeyed. Another important symbol is the Djed pillar, which represents resurrection and stability. This symbol signified the rebirth of the dead and the immortality of the soul. It reminded the ancient Egyptians that life is transient for every living being, while also reminding them that existence after death is a form of balance and rebirth. This symbol emphasized the core beliefs of Egyptian society about immortality. Specifically, the magical power of the texts should not be overlooked. The ancient Egyptians believed in the power of words, meaning that with the right words, one could bless the soul, protect it from evil spirits, and unite it with the gods. These texts served not only as guides for the deceased but also for the living, helping individuals maintain balance and peace throughout their lives. Some spells were not only designed to overcome fears, but also to establish a connection with immortality and provide protection. Among these spells, the texts in the Book of the Dead were arranged in a way that allowed the soul to pay homage to many gods and goddesses before beginning its transition after death. In other words, these texts acted as a form of a social rebirth, redefining who the soul was and its connection to the gods, as it passed through the realm of the afterlife. The Egyptian Book of the Dead left an indelible mark on the world. Its teachings have influenced not only Egyptian culture, but also countless spiritual traditions and philosophies throughout history. The themes of balance, truth, and cosmic order resonate with us even today. It is a guide not just for the dead, but for the living, teaching us the importance of living a righteous life, aligned with the laws of the universe. While many of the ancient Egyptian texts have been lost to time, the Book of the Dead stands as a testament to their deep understanding of life, death, and the journey of the soul. It has inspired countless scholars, mystics, and seekers of truth who have found within its pages not just answers, but questions that challenge us to reconsider the nature of our own existence. Modern interpretations of the Book of the Dead often focus on its spiritual wisdom and its deep connection to the concept of the afterlife. Yet, its true power lies in its ability to awaken something within us, something timeless. It challenges us to ask ourselves, what is the purpose of life, and how do we approach the inevitable end? More than just a manual for the dead, the Book of the Dead encourages us to live with intention, to seek understanding, and to harmonize with the eternal flow of the universe. In a world filled with distractions and uncertainties, its ancient wisdom continues to offer guidance, not only in the face of death, but in our daily lives as we seek meaning, purpose, and enlightenment. As we reflect on the teachings of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, we come to understand that the ancient Egyptians saw death not as an end, but as a transformation. A journey, not just into the unknown, but into a deeper understanding of life, death, and the universe. Through the words and symbols found in the Book of the Dead, they offered a way for the soul to navigate the mysteries of the afterlife, to overcome fear, and to transcend earthly limitations. But perhaps most importantly, they provided a roadmap for living a life in alignment with Maat, the divine order of truth, balance, and justice. Today, The Book of the Dead reminds us that the journey of the soul is not just about what happens after death, but how we live in the present. It challenges us to live with integrity, to seek truth, and to find balance in our lives, in a world often filled with chaos and uncertainty. The teachings of the Book of the Dead offer a timeless path toward enlightenment, reminding us that death is not an end, but merely another step in the never-ending journey of existence. And so, the journey continues, not just for the ancient Egyptians, but for all of us, as we seek to understand the mysteries of life, death, and the beyond. Thank you for joining us on this profound journey through the Egyptian Book of the Dead, as we've uncovered the mysteries of life and rebirth within the ancient Egyptian worldview. We've only scratched the surface of what this sacred text can teach us. The wisdom of the Book of the Dead has traveled through millennia, and its themes of balance, judgment, and spiritual growth continue to resonate with us today. But this exploration is just the beginning. There is so much more to uncover in the realms of ancient wisdom, esoteric teachings, and the mysteries of life and death. If you found this video enlightening, intriguing, or thought-provoking, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay connected to more fascinating content about ancient civilizations, spiritual journeys, hidden knowledge, and so much more. We would love to hear your thoughts. Comment below and share your reflections on what the Egyptian Book of the Dead means to you, or how you view the afterlife in the context of the ancient Egyptian beliefs. Have you ever studied other texts related to the afterlife, or perhaps you have your own interpretation of life's eternal cycle? Your insights and questions are not only welcome, they are essential for creating a space where we can learn together. If this video has sparked curiosity in you, like it, and share it with others who might be fascinated by the deep, timeless wisdom of the ancient world. There's no better way to spread knowledge and spark curiosity than by sharing these discoveries with a wider audience. Remember, this is just one chapter in a much larger story. As we continue to explore the world's most captivating mysteries, we invite you to journey with us. Together, let's uncover the secrets that have stood the test of time. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep exploring the wisdom of the past that still speaks to us today.